What's up, guys? Vince Reddy here, and yeah, welcome back to VinzTalk, where I talk about the news. I talk about myself and other things that I just feel like comfortable talking about. And pretty much, right now, I there really wasn't a lot of videos that I posted. I feel like I could have given a note or anything like that. It's just like there's not like two usual videos compared to. It's just a short amount. Usually, there's like two more compared to what I upload this weekend, but I just decided like, yeah, I'm just gonna take it easy. I don't really feel like in the mood to really read a lot, or because I've been busy with personal stuff and also my studies and still finding a place to live. But also, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to uh right now. There's been like this whole field of live streams that I just been noticing across my feed over this past week. And also, what else? I don't know. I feel like I'm in that sort of place where I feel like I need therapy or something. Like I just want to take things easy. But for this particular Vince talk, I just had to actually share some stuff that I watch or whatever it is, because I haven't been out a lot. There was like a bunch of parties that, especially the group I am in, with one of the things I signed up for was like canceled or whatever. And I don't know if that has to do with like COVID coming back, because usually it would come back like during the coldest years, with coldest months of the year being and pretty much it's kind of crazy that it's almost like winter. I didn't realize that this year was going by so fast, but it is. But my goodness. Anyways, let's talk about some streams that I've been seeing. I heard that also there's this whole thing going on within election week. So I've been seeing a bit of that. I think some of the polls are still going on. I'm not really sure. I'm just hoping that someone would actually be a better leader than Trump and Biden. Like it's just like we seriously need a new, but also a young president. Just someone like somewhere 40s or something. Like a good leader, young and understands the generation or something. Because man, these two leaders they're not doing good. But hopefully they don't return back, because some of them be returning back 4 more years, and we just have to deal with 4 more years of that nonsense. But politics aside, there was a launch. There was a moon launch. I didn't put this in my list. I have a list and I'm just reading off what to talk about. But there was a moon launch. And pretty much this launch was like, and for those that don't know, I used to have a segment talking about space stuff. So one of them would be talking about like, to the space station. Like if there was like ever a miraculous moment of like, hey, guess what? People are going to the moon, and I would talk about it. But for this one, there seems to be a testing going to the moon. And it was a pretty big deal. A lot of people were watching. So you can only imagine like the 2 next years that people would then be launching actual humans to the moon. But right now, this is like a flight test of like what's going to be going down. It's called the Artemis mission. It's pretty much produced by NASA. Everyone knows NASA by now. But I'm speaking to an audience that space is usually not something that we talk about. I'm not talking about space like, give me space or, safe spaces. But I'm talking about actual freaking space, like going to space and going to different planets and stuff like that. Usually I don't talk about that, especially the fact that I don't read a lot of sci-fi. So I'm pretty much off of that. But for something big like this is life-changing. This is something that is going to happen within the future. And right now, I don't know where it is. I don't know if it landed on the moon as as I'm sharing this, but there was some news going down of just like how it was on the moon. Well, actually, like, approaching to the moon, from our planet, as it was launching at the space station in Florida at a launch pad. And now, pretty much that happens like 2 days ago. So it takes like 3 days to get to the moon. If, my calculations are correct. I don't know. It could be freaking 3 years. But seriously, like, yeah, 3 days that is supposed to be there, and right now it should arrive. So that's what I've been sort of watching, even though like a whole bunch of space stuff, because I used to talk about that a lot in my Vince talk. But I'm just like, it's really nothing like crazy to me personally, especially a person that is not usually into space, because space is cool. It's just that I don't know, you guys are not really interested in it. And the thing within my content is that I always try to give out stuff that you guys are mostly interested in. And it will be stuff that surrounds gaming, and also I have the animation stuff, which is the last segment of this whole entire podcast, which is me talking about animation news and all that. And also like awards, and pretty much I should be getting to the we're almost since it's almost like December, the Game Awards is coming. And I can't wait to talk about that. But I'm going to be making a whole video about the Game Awards and really analyzing and talking a bit about it. So, yeah. And also, hope you guys, pretty much Thanksgiving is almost here. So, I don't know if, what to talk about that for next weekend, but it's going to be interesting. I know I'm going to be taking pictures of just the amount of food I'm going to be eating, but yeah, some good stuff. Anyways, gaming stuff, gaming news. We'll talk about the Game Awards, but right now I'm going to make a separate video of that, just like I said. And yeah, let's talk about G4TV and what kind of nonsense they're up to. Because I heard that G4TV, they were doing a video, like someone to interview. Like I believe this YouTuber named Miss Click from the Spawncast, a podcast called the Spawncast by Spawnwave, and she definitely exposed G4TV. And I know that G4TV, listen, I'm not trying to show hate here. I talk about it already in context about, actually in any context, because usually a lot of the stuff I would say here, I just throw it in and I just show it to your face and boom, I'm out. But for G4TV, I did talk about it, and I talk about my opinions about it and the whole situation. And I said, like, yeah, but it's pretty much their fault. They shoot themselves in the leg, and pretty much, this is what happens. This is what happened. And honesty rules everything. But man, with Miss Click and like the whole, like, what was it? They were interviewing her and asking her questions and stuff like that, talking about Batman. And I'm not a crazy Batman fan, RP Kevin Conroy, but I'm not the craziest person when it comes down to Batman. I usually don't really care much, There's a bunch of good games surrounded Batman, but I didn't play none of them. I didn't even acknowledge none of them. I didn't even watch anything involving Batman. When it comes to Batman, I'm not really crazy about it. I'm going to be honest. It's not my thing. But talking about, like, they were talking to Miss Click about, like, how Batman is privileged and rich because he's white, which, again, with this whole thing, and you know how my feelings are when it comes down to bringing race up, people would, yeah, everyone has the right to talk about their opinions and issues about, like, oh, race and, this percentage of people and stuff like that. I get it. And there's some facts behind it. But when it comes down to this, there's no facts. It's just saying, like, oh, he's white and rich, therefore he's a bad guy, and therefore we shouldn't support him or something like that. And saying in front of Click. And they're trying to make Miss Click agree with the interviewers or something for, like, an audition or whatever. And she just won't, it was, I don't know what she said later on, but I remember hearing all this from Miss Click's like experience, and I'm just like, wow, this sounds crazy. My goodness. Okay. Like G4TV got exposed through that or X-Play. I'm not sure. And speaking of G4TV and X-Play, they are just in, like, I saw them on the timeline of, like, I believe this past week. They were on Kind of Funny, which is one of my favorite gaming podcasts to watch, to listen to. Like, they got Blessing, Tim, and, Greg and all of them. Sorry. G4TV was on Kind of Funny for some kind of thing, or X-Play, of course. That's like their new name. And it was live streaming on YouTube. It was used to be on Twitch. They used to do that a lot on Twitch, but now it's on YouTube. And man, just a lot of people did not like Adam Sessler when he was on on Kind of Funny, or just a good amount of them. Like, pretty much Frost wasn't there in the whole Kind of Funny, like, when, of course, they, they had, like, the same political opinions or whatever, so it made sense why Kind of Funny is, like, befriending X-Play. I'm just imagining, like, Roosterteeth or anyone else, no one else actually had, like, X-Play on them. Like, you could tell X-Play was just grabbing for scraps or something, just anything that they can grab. And, Kind of Funny just bought into them and whatever. And I'm not saying that X-Play, the most of them are bad people, but Sessler, man, sketch. Okay, that's all I can say. Like, he said some certain things on Twitter, and especially when it comes down to his own family members, that kind of deal. So I'm not gonna, get into that, but there was a lot of stuff he said that really he didn't. And I feel bad for, like, I get this feeling also when I saw Blessing, from Kind of Funny, was talking to him. Like, I can just feel like he just wasn't like, I don't know. It was certain like a vibe. Maybe I could be wrong, but man, I just, like, if I was in Blessing's shoes, I would just walk out of Kind of Funny right now. Like, I love Kind of Funny, but inviting XPlay and G4TV, in my opinion, I'm like, what is this? What is going on? I don't know. But yeah, that's basically what happened. That's my update for G4 TV and also that whole spiel. Also another gaming thing, or related to gaming. Jaiden Animations, if anybody knows her. I feel, with her having 11 million subscribers, there has to be people that know her. A good amount of you probably like, Jaiden who? Which I don't blame you, because I don't know anything about Jaiden, but I do know her name and what she's about. But she's doing like a, what is it, like a 3 day, 4 days live stream or whatever. And she's doing this long live stream. Hold on, give me a minute. Long live stream, and it's basically called a subathon. And she's like, I don't know what was the reason why. I'm not sure if it's for a charity. There was, and I heard this from Omni, because I don't follow Jaiden Animations. I'm not really subscribed to her channel, but yeah, I saw, like, this whole subathon, and she would, like, I don't know what's the timeline. I don't know where she lives, but there was like certain weird days that she would sleep. She would, like, not be in the computer. She would just do this whole thing called Pokemon, Twitch plays Pokemon. If anybody remembers what that is, it's basically having your, put commands on the chat, and then you move the character, the game they're playing, which is Pokemon. It could be anything else, but just decided to put, like, Pokemon, and they just had the whole chat play Pokemon and doing the controls for them for the game as they play it, which is pretty cool. It's a concept that has been done before. It was a trend in the past when it comes down to the whole thing, like, in the past, about what was it, like, Twitch plays Pokemon, which is on Twitch, but this one is on YouTube. And it looked it looked okay. Like, the whole, like, stream, by the way, it's all Pokemon stuff. And if you know me, I don't really know Pokemon that well. Okay, I gave, like, an analogy of how Pokemon is like that cousin that I never talked to. And then I'll never, 3 years later, when I'm going back to, like, a Thanksgiving or a Christmas party, I still don't talk to that cousin. It's like that. Okay, I don't really care Pokemon that much. Man, she was playing a lot of Pokemon. I feel like that's a hobby where you have to grow with it. Especially with that whole Ash Ketchum thing. Didn't really, it's like, it's the closest that got me, like, interested in a ways, because of the concept of the story and knowing who Ash is from my childhood. Yeah, that's the best thing I can know from Pokemon, but I didn't grow up with it, so I didn't really stick in the stream. There was many things that I didn't, some might argue, because I had this many times, like, why are you talking about it then? I don't know. I just see what's on the internet, and I just, talk about it. That's it, And it's pretty much, the best related to gaming news. The whole thing was supposed to be about G4 TV, but I try to stop myself, not, because I don't want to, say the wrong things and stuff like that. Because, my opinions and stuff like that, there's some things that is best to be closed. Anyways, Ruby, if anybody remembers that series itself, usually I would talk about this in animation news, but they had a game called Arrowfall. And I don't know what's happening within Roosterteeth. That's kind of like the whole thing, like, my shtick, like, whenever I make, content, I always had that creative outlet of just making different, like, you remember when I was talking about, like, all reading novels for the channel or doing live streams and stuff? That's usually in my head of, like, different ideas that I want to talk about and want to read and want to do for the channel. And the same thing when it comes down to, like, gameplays and stuff like that, bringing it back, but I always stick with the same content that I make, which is usually, webtoon reads, and also this particular series. So there's two series, the Let's Read series and also the VinzTalk series, which is the podcast and me talking to you guys and me rambling and all that stuff. And I guess I might as well make another, like, niche within that, where I talk about, like, different companies that are just falling, because Roosterteeth is one of them. Okay, XPlay G4TV is one of them. Hopefully, Kind of Funny ain't one of them, but I wouldn't be surprised, because many outlets, when it comes down to, like remember Creature Hub? Man, that was, like, in the past. That was, like, the gold prime of, like, gaming. I was literally full on, like, in my whole, like, wave, my entire wave of just like, doing let's play gaming and one day being in that field. But of course that never happened. And Rooster Teeth, like, they're cool. But man, their live streams, especially when they almost have like 10 million subscribers, they falling off. They are just falling off hard. They're doing these live streams and there's only like 100 or 200 people. And there's not a lot of people really watching their live streams in the first place, but they're just falling off. It's just, from the looks of it, it just ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. Okay? Like, I don't know what's up with all the attention and charity, and I get they're doing nice things, but I'm just saying, when you have 10 million and you doing live streams and no one's showing up, they did like a, what is it? They did like a, some kind of like, I'm gonna look it up. They did like a live stream for a charity or something, right? Like, a few days ago, I believe. I could be wrong, but like, their stuff is doing good, like their podcast and whatever. And I believe the arrow fell, but listen, they get only thousands and they got million subscribers. And says the guy that actually gets 100 when, with, even though I'm almost up to 10K. Like, I'm just looking at their stuff and like, what is happening? But they did a live stream where they had it like for a charity, like a Make-A-Wish or whatever. I have no idea. And lot of people didn't show up. And they were doing some weird stuff, like, making foods of like with certain things, and doing like a board game, like a physical board game or whatever. And the amount of cringe that I just seen is like, oh wow, this is not looking good. Okay, I mean, and they're not really sharing like the actual, like, what's the real problem or something. That whole idea of like just not talking about the obvious. Okay, when you go woke and broke and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been seeing. And also, they made a game of and I was planning to actually really check this game out. Ruby Arrowfall. There's no demo, by the way, and it's like 4 hours long. And listen, I haven't had anything of a Ruby content for the longest time. No Ruby Chibi, no new episodes, no new seasons for freaking Ruby, because they told us to wait. Which we, like, okay, like, wait till when? Like, when is Ruby coming out? Like, well, hold on, let me type that. Okay, let me type that. Ruby season 9 release date. Okay. Oh, 2022. Like, it's Is that mean it's coming soon or something? I'm just reading this, okay? They say it's unclear. It's unclear. Like, what is that supposed to mean? You say, okay, they said like, okay, Ruby will be released this summer 2022. First off, we just passed summer. It's 22. So where is it? Nothing. Nothing. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening with Roosterteeth, with Ruby. They're just falling off hard. Okay, they had their prime. They could be the new G4TV. I'm just saying. I'm not here to to smoke out and go blowout, but it's crazy. It's like, where are they at? So yeah, other than that, and I don't mean any trouble for any of these, okay? When it comes down to like X-Play, G4TV, and Roosterteeth, but when it comes to certain failures of big companies, a lot of times it's just interesting to talk about and understand what was the problem, what made it, what really actually made it bad. Like, what did they been through or something that, or what did they trigger? Other than that, moving on to some gaming stuff, especially one news. Okay, so this is just one more. Skate 4, there was an update for it, and they just had it in the boardroom. I'm excited for Skate 4 because they say it's going to be free to play, which means I get to play it. I already played the Skate 4 demo, freaking like beta test or whatever you call it. Look, there was this channel. Okay, they had like they played the game. It's like, hey, if you want to play, you go follow the Discord and yada yada yada. And then I checked it out and I wanted to play for myself. So I did play it. My computer can't handle it, but I'm still excited to actually play. You know what? I'm going to play. I'm going to probably live stream it. I'm going to be like, yo, what's up? Vince Ryder, first ever live stream. Because I never done a live stream ever. And yeah, this could be the first time in this channel where I might do a live stream. I did a premiere, but that's not a live stream. Now, a live stream itself, there's going to be some working tweaks in here and there. Because, listen, the reason why I don't live stream, and I think I said this so many times when I really, because I talked about how I really want to live stream. I really actually want to record, doing long-term videos and stuff like that and record with you guys. But the thing is that I'm not in a very convenient place to freaking live stream, okay? The internet connection and the noise in the background and stuff like that. And yeah, people have different noises. But here's the thing. Like within the area I'm in this house, and I'm not allowed to actually give a lot away, but like, with my family members coming in and out and something, it gets annoying. They're always wondering like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, it like I can't record within that like pressure, especially when my parents and also like people coming in and out in here, and they tend to open the door and see what I'm doing. That's the reason why I record the majority of my videos at nighttime, because that gets so annoying. All right, that's why I'm still waiting for a new place so I can actually find a place to record and do these because I'm gonna be doing a lot of collabs if I do actually have my own space to record. So and that will be easier for me when it comes down to making videos. And still, I always dream, and especially right now, immediately having a place to record, a studio. Shoot, I'd be going up in the parking lot. I'd be like, trying to actually record a video up there, but it's also hard because I get easily distracted when it comes down to certain videos and stuff like that to record. And when it comes down to podcasts and doing, because when I want to collab with somebody, listen, they have their own certain rules of their videos that they, if they're doing a gameplay and they want me to join, I honestly don't know how that's going to work. Because what if they have a PS4 or a PS5 and my poor ass don't have any of that? I don't got no freaking PS4, PS5, and none of that. I play all my games on the PC. That's it. Okay? My PS4 could be on the PC. I could get the emulators, but that's the best I got. Okay? I can't afford that. And also, what about, especially when it comes down to my like content itself, the best thing when it comes down to a collab with anyone is just a freaking conversation. Like I'll just like, hey, let's just do this on Zoom. You don't even need to show your face. You don't even need to show yourself or be self-productive or just like have it all organized or whatever, have a good mic, or you don't need none of that. Okay, you can just be on the phone like, hey, what's up, Vince? How we doing? How we gonna do this video? Shoot, we're doing this video right now. Okay, we're just talking. We just actually having, just chatting. That's it. There's no live stream, nothing. Just chatting. I just want to talk to you. That's it. For that easier content. But man, it's hard to actually do this here where I'm living at, okay? Let me tell you, my colors really start to show when I actually really talk about this stuff. Because it's certain content that I really want to make for this channel. And it's hard because, man, I don't know. The anxiety, the pressure of just like having certain things thrown at me when I'm just in my own freaking desk, in my room, buying my business, it just happens sometimes, okay? I don't know. I could be wrong, it's all about, the action more than, the talk about it. But yeah, that's just been on my mind, okay? Anyways, pretty much, I'm not sure what else to really talk about in animation news other than the whole boyfriends thing. One thing within the boyfriends of like, the series created by Refrainbow being the creator of Boyfriends. And this is from what I heard. So apparently, I think I was right when I said this from last weekend of my VinzTalk, that the series is going on a hiatus because of the hate that boyfriends keep getting. And I was right. I was like, yeah, I think that's what, but why was the hate? Listen, I look a little bit into these videos talking about how boyfriends is this and that or whatever, just these hate videos talking about boyfriends. I try to understand what was their like whole conclusion of what is what. They're saying like, Refrainbow is like, what is it, gay baiting or whatever, or just I don't know. These could be lies or whatever and stuff like that. I don't know what is true. I really just don't know. Listen, I read the webtoon, the creator, they're doing their thing. Okay, I don't know what, they don't know me. I don't know them. Unless they're like a friend of mine, unless I went to school with them and but I wouldn't tell because they have like their freaking avatar and their nickname. Okay, like Ray or Rainbow, that could be somebody I know. That could be a Ray that I know in real life, but I don't know that. And it seems that like he's getting hate because of like some certain fan art that he made in the past, which was like for like BTS or something, like some yaoi fan art and stuff like that, and then got hate for it. And listen, there was some certain like analysis of like certain age gaps that made or whatever, but that's all I know. it's nothing a lot from the other stuff that other artists made or something, which I wouldn't know either. And I wouldn't know either of that. I wouldn't probably care because, hey, unless you bring it to my attention, then okay, all right, okay, that's news to me. But at the same time, I'm just reading what you guys, listen, the whole boyfriends, when it comes down to earth, when it comes down to these different webtoon reads, these series was created from you guys. You made the request and I deliver. Simple. Okay, I'm not out here actually, just intentionally making it. Yes, there's certain webtoons where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna read this. This looks cute, and if it looks cute, I'm reading to you guys because hey, I deliver. Okay, that's how I get these subs. That's how I actually, work up to something that I love because I'm sharing what I'm into for you guys. And I don't know. I don't know what's the conclusion there, but I'm just saying, like, the whole birth of this channel is all created from you. It's all you. And that's why I keep thanking all of you for what you have done to make this channel. Okay. I'm just the concrete. I'm the foundation. You guys are the walls, the windows, the roofs, the kitchens of the living rooms, and I'm just the one holding it all together. You know what I mean? Hope that's a good analogy. Anyways, other than that, that's all I'm gonna talk about. I'm just gonna go, do my homework or whatever. Actually, I'm gonna talk a little bit about class, okay? Oh, is this a new segment here? We got gaming talk, we got animation talk, we're about to do freaking school talk, okay? Oh, who loves that? Fun. No, but seriously, I'm in a writing class and I just learned how to screenplay. Oh man, it was some good stuff. I just made some good stories. I'm really looking forward to it. It really inspired me to go back to Wattpad and work on my different arts, my different storylines, plots, prologues and stuff like that. I'm back on the writing game, and it's certain things that I do want to share. But other than that, like, it's just stuff that it's just like the ideas and I especially making this particular webtoon. If we were making chapter 1, like it still wasn't fitting. Something like that. Also, I got to really work on the wording of different, like, how many words per page. That's something I need to work on, that's for sure, because the Wattpad doesn't have a good organizing, station of that. My organized, kind of way of writing certain things is basically Google Docs. That's the best I have, okay? Unless there is another app for me. If so, if you know any of them, recommend it to me. Apps or different softwares for writers or people that like to write novels like me. I'm interested to see that because right now I just only use Wattpad and Google Docs, because Google Docs actually is, even though it's something for my homework and also a place where I put all my topics for this particular podcast, is a place where I also actually just, make different, different stories and actually have different ideas, and I just write them down. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. I'll see you when I see you. Happy, fun Thanksgiving. Stay safe. One love.